Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm on chess.com right now, and I just got paired up playing a 3-2 game. Okay, let's see how this plays out. Let's go into, well, to be determined. All right, let's go with d5. And, I'm going to take right away. This bishop's going to be coming out to g2. And before developing my bishop, I'm going to play c5. So let's see. I'm doing this, by the way. Oh, I get to play my knight to c6. Okay, so I played my pawn up to c5 prior to moving my bishop because in the event of captures on this square, I can just recapture in one move. Okay, so my knight is pinned. And if I'm not careful, knight to e5, so bishop d7. What about just capturing here? Pawn takes. There might even be knight takes. I have to be careful of either knight moves. So let's see. Bishop d7, I'm considering... Bishop d7, and then what? Let's think here. Of course. Bishop d7, queen takes c5, pawn takes, bishop takes. I think this should be fine. Let me break the pin. My rook will play to c8. It's one of these, I'm not so enthusiastic about bishop d7. But you know what? Where else is he gonna go? I don't think preparing some fianchetto is a good idea. So let's take here. They have to recapture, and now I think everything should be fine right here. Rook c8. Yeah, I'd really like to exchange light square bishops, so I'd be happy to see knight takes knight, bishop takes, and I think the worst is past here. Let's just pre-move that. So this is already pretty good here for black. Pretty happy about this. Okay, my knight's pinned. Or, excuse me, my rook is pinned. My pawn on a7 is hit. My first thought was a6, but you know what? Let's develop and defend. And there's really not a better square for my bishop anyhow. Yeah, let's go here. There's rook d8, but I'm not inconvenienced. I'll be out of this pin soon enough once I castle. Queen c7 on rook d1. Or maybe I should think a bit more forward. Let's castle. These knights are offset. My knight is pinned. I don't like this. I'm thinking about h6, but what about queen d4? Let's go with queen d4. Yeah, that should be fine. There might be bishop takes knight. And I could even consider taking with the pawn. On queen takes bishop, knight e4. There's queen e7. In this heavy piece ending, I still kind of like my position. Big moment here, I think, at least. I might want to go into a rook ending where I have a slightly better rook position, and I'll have a flight square with pawn takes. Although on pawn takes bishop, probably just avoiding the queen exchange is what white would do. I'm going to go in for this. Yeah. So on knight e4, I'll play, I think, queen f5 or e5. Or maybe even take on b2. Let's work this out a little bit. Time to calculate. Queen takes b2, knight takes bishop, knight takes bishop, rook takes knight, queen takes a7. I feel like just playing it a little bit more simple. Queen d4. Let's make a move. Let's go here. Knight takes is possible because it's defending the queen. So I'll do this, and I still have a7 covered. I need a flight square. Yeah. So, and of the two flight squares, maybe h5, because then there's the idea of h4, and he could be a giant thorn. It's not yet a threat. It's an interesting imbalance. I think I could cover all my base points. I'm gonna shoot for this. Let's see if I could. Yeah, let's try this imbalance. I could have played it just a lot simpler, but I'm gonna shoot for this. Let's play first this move. I think I could eventually coordinate my rooks, and I'll be playing off of the increment soon. So let's start with this. If the queenside pawns are all exchanged, I'll have no issues. So I have good coordination. Well, not just yet. My rooks aren't coordinated, but this should be good for me. And how to track that pawn down. Let's start with this, just so there's no queen a3 to hit my rook. So queen here. There's not a way to attack my rook and defend the pawn. This is 3-2. Just double checking there for a second. I need a flight square. Let's get that guy in. And yeah, okay, so as mentioned, if these guys are exchanged, I could even think about this, but with my time situation, let's not. Let's go here first. And they're allowing this. Maybe I should have played h5 first. I'm going to look to do this next. Yeah, let's get that guy in. So incoming rook to b2. I want to do this soon. My rooks are not attacked. Just got to watch out for that. And actually, let's do this, stopping h5 first. I could even think about rook f5. This should be winning for me. There's no forks. I mean, there's this move. So now they have to tend to f2. And this is convenient because I will be defending... let me get out of this. I'll be defending f7 soon. So queen f6, I just take. It'll be a 1 king and pawn ending. So let's take here. And give some more checks, actually. I want to pick up this pawn and keep the structure as is. It's close to mate, no? Let's give another check. And let's just take here. So now there's a diagonal open, but I should be able to cover everything. This rook is a monster right here. Let's keep pushing him. 6 seconds. Let's get behind him and keep pushing away. Rook here. There's no queen check. Queen move with check, I should say. Oh, I just dropped that pawn. Oh, I missed that. This is going to be perpetual now? Ah. That stinks. Okay, I still have this. Oh, man. No perpetual. Please, no perpetual. It's going to be perpetual. Let's see. Just don't get mated. Whatever happens, don't get mated. Could I block with this rook? There is this pawn push, but I want to get a queen. I definitely want to get a queen. Okay. Here, I think. And now I have this move. Terrible technique. I dropped f7. I should have never dropped f7. Let's make sure we don't lose on time. That pawn, he just allows so many different checks like this. Let's go here. This is tricky. Let's go here first. I think this was now I'm threatening this check. Okay, this should be good because with the king here, the checks are a bit more limited. Have this, and there's not a good check now. I get to block. Tricky. This game should have been over. It's not easy to dodge these checks. Don't fall for a mate. It's Is my king sneaking out? He might be sneaking out now. Might. Oh my goodness. Go here, I guess. Just queen check here, and then to these two squares. Yeah, I bet you the computer will definitely have this as a draw. But can my opponent find the draw? I think they did. That was the last key move. They're playing off of the increment here. Let's do this. They're going to go back. I'll just sneak that one in there. Oh, they just won on time. I lost on time there. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, well, that's going to happen. Let's see. That must have been a perpetual with these queen moves. But, what can you do? All right, well, we're going to go over it with Stockfish. I was interesting with the whatchamacallit, in the middle game. I think I got out of the opening, like, pretty good, but we'll double check, see where we could both improve. Okay, let's see what Stockfish has to say on this one. So this is Catalan territory, and as mentioned, this c5 prior to bishop to e7 is in the event of a capture for when the queen is off of the d file. In the event of the capture, I can recapture in just one move. Not too big of a deal, but just anyhow, that was my thought process on that one. I get knight c6 in. I'm already feeling pretty comfortable. It is suggesting bishop d7, okay. I probably should have come up with that a little bit quicker, as, it's too weakening to try to go about development by way of b6 and bishop to b7. This bishop already on the diagonal, it's too much, too difficult to get that in. So, queen takes. There was also, I think it popped up d takes. Yeah, so either one. On d takes, I'm just recapturing, and on queen c4. This is probably where I would have spent a lot of time. It's suggesting bishop to e7. Give it a little bit of time to think. I don't know that I would have come up with that. I'm thinking more along the lines of developing my queen. Although queen b6, knight c3, and then I have to worry of knight a4. To drop all the way back to e7? Okay, now bishop b6. Okay, just to give a feel for that other move sequence, taking on c5 first. I'm feeling pretty comfortable right now. Knight to e5. Okay, nothing wrong with rook c8. It's most natural, just developing, and yeah, this is where I felt I was already equal. And the computer thinks so. a6, that's my first thought. Bishop c5, that's fine. The castles, bishop there, queen d4. That's the move I played. Bishop takes, I considered pawn takes. It's fine with this. I was worried of avoiding the queen exchange, yeah. Taking like this, superior minor piece, ending, likes black here. Monster bishop on d4, pressure on b2. And I already have my flight square. So we went for this. Or I went for that instead. Queen takes b2, yeah. Queen takes b2, knight takes, rook takes, queen takes, hitting my rook, pressure on b7. Rook b5, okay. Still pretty evenish. Let's go back. So queen there, knight takes, queen takes. And then, yeah, it's pretty even. And could have played it a lot. Well, no, I was thinking I had a choice here. Not so much. I pretty much had to go in for this imbalance, as otherwise there's no compensation for having my pawn structure split. Just moving out of the way. Takes, pawn takes. There's no reason to do that to my queenside structure, so this is fine. I'm looking to liquidate the queenside, as mentioned. I was able to do that. And I wonder if it would have suggested right around here the move b3. It does suggest b3. I didn't have time to calculate it, though. Tried to play practically. This should still be something. Yeah, still an advantage. What would have been the continuation? I'm just curious here. b6 is probably something a bit elaborate. You know, because this queen gets here. How am I getting behind here? It's a little bit tricky. Or maybe not. I guess the idea is still rook to d8 and doubling on this second rank. Easier to calculate. Liquidate the queen side, stay on the second rank. I think my opponent needed to constantly keep my rook in check, keep him under attack, and not allow me an opportunity to double on the second rank. Queen a5 is being pointed out. Constantly keeping pressure, I think, will be the name of the game in this ending. I think this is a useful point to be made aware of. If I'm allowed to double the rooks on the second rank, it's just not good for white, because I will be crashing through, like in the game on the f2 square. So constantly keeping pressure on the rook is the name of the game here. Started right with queen c3. There, queen c7 is being suggested. My first thought was one of these two to attack the rook, but what's being pointed out is queen c7, not even allowing any of these three moves. Can't get that other rook working, but the one opportunity I had to get the rook activated, rook d8 or b8 in that case, and then queen there. I was thinking this move is an idea, but I guess I'm not having any perpetual, or white wouldn't have any perpetual. There's a check, but now not an ensuing check on this diagonal. It would be a different story if, let's say, I don't know, let's say if this pawn was here and, I don't know, let's just say there's a nothing move first and the queen was on this square. Still, it's okay. I was thinking this is a different story, but I always have this f5 move. It's always something to be aware of, this clamping down h5 move. It makes the perpetual check for white that much more likely. So that's why I was, during the game, saying, you know what, if I have an opportunity to play h5, I want to do that, and I did in this case, because now it's much different. I get this structure in, and I was just going to say it's a lot easier to cover f7. Well, in the game I ended up dropping f7, but hopefully you get the idea here. This is a much more, it's a much more harmonious structure. It's an adequate home for the black king, and it does well to prevent perpetual checks. Okay, I think I said that right. Okay, so we got the rooks doubled eventually, and yeah, okay, well, this is winning for black, but unfortunately I dropped f7 and allowed perpetuals, and then ultimately lost on time. So if I didn't drop f7, as you see, plus 10 minus, or minus 10 minus 5 stuff, yeah, rook h6. Oh, I shouldn't have even allowed this stuff. Well, it's a double attack against my rook and pawn. Yeah, and now it is, in fact, a draw. I shouldn't have even allowed this. So a better move at this point, just to be super cautious, should have been to get all of my pieces first defended. If I could do it over, I would first do this move, because now I've acquired a position where absolutely everything is defended. If the queen moves, I play here. There's the follow-up of then, let's just make some move, rook here, and then rook here. And I could even give up my rook, for example. Let's say king here, rook here, queen back. I could push and allow this, threatening this next. But didn't have time to think it through. But interesting game. At least we got to see these this imbalanced ending, the two rooks versus the queen, and we see how we could completely, of course, lose track of time. This was, I guess, another opportunity where I could have won. I'm not going to go into it. It's probably a little bit elaborate. Rook to a5. I'm not thinking of moves like that. I'm trying to keep all my rooks really close to my king to allow for these blocks with or blocking checks and such. But interesting game, interesting imbalance here. The two rooks versus the queen. The name of the game is to try and stay coordinated. I allowed this perpetual and then lost on time here. But hopefully, as usual, you got something out of this video. And feel free to leave any comments in the comment section below. And I'll catch you in the next one. That's all for now. Take care. Bye.